Good afternoon on what is a cold, bright and sunny day. It is Tuesday the 9th of January and I've got a nice hot cup of tea. And I'm in the Rig Nook with another box to continue unboxing. And what I've got in here is this, the Funko Verse Strategy Game. And this is the Universal Monsters version. Now, I've looked at different box sets of this. I thought, well, that looks interesting. But this one definitely caught my eye because it's got the Universal Monsters in. It's all in black and white, and the mini Funko Pops for the set are really kind of cute. So, Funko Verse Strategy Game, face off in the ultimate pop battle. Combine your favourite characters and go head-to-head in your 4 exciting game scenarios. Move through memorable locations, Dracula's castle and Frankenstein's lab, and use your character's unique abilities to capture points and achieve victory. It's for ages 10 plus, 2 to 4 players, 20 to 60 minutes play. Play as a standalone game or mix with other Funko Verse games. So, you know, if you absolutely wanted to, you could actually get the expansion. So you could play this, so you had the Universal Monsters versus the Golden Girls. I'm not kidding. That's an entire possibility. But let's look inside and see what we've got. And also, I actually really like the packaging on here. It's been really well designed. The thematically, you know, black and white. You know, it gives you that sort of like silver screen feel of the 30s movies. So just get the knife on this and cut the seals. And then, okay, so the first thing you're going to see when you open up is that, because you can see, I'm going to just about see the bits. I don't want anything to fall out because, you know, it's a board game. Traditionally, I drop everything. So let's have a look at the figures themselves, because they're going to be you put this on the table, and that's what people are going to be looking at. So, let's see if he's going to come out. Oh, they don't. Does not want to come out, and my fingers are cold. Here we are. So we've also essentially, we've got Dracula a la Bela Lugosi. Really, there we go. We've got Creature from the Black Lagoon. So he's a bit later. He's a 50s monster, but he's still counted as one of the Universal monsters. And the other thing to bear in mind is that you can take these and use these. You could actually use these. The thing that struck me was you could use these in the game Horrified with the Universal Monsters figures. So yeah. So these are very well placed in. I don't even know. So I don't actually. I'd like to get these out, but they're actually quite well stuck in. So I'm a bit disappointed about that. So essentially, what else we've got? We have. There are the dice. Okay. Nice, clear, simple. You can easily read those. You've got various plastic counters. You have various cardboard bits. And I like the fact that they all comes pre-packaged in a Ziploc bags. So you also got stands for the mini Funko Pops. So, and then you've got extra stuff there's like the tail piece for the a Creature from the Black Lagoon and a shovel as well. I think that's Dracula's meant to be holding that. And then underneath, okay, we lift this up, and what we have underneath this. So I'm going to pull out the board itself. So let's just as you just pull the cellophane off this. You'll appreciate that my fingers are not a little cold. In fact, they're a lot cold because it's quite a chilly day. So we open up the board. I can see where it actually. There we go. Because it's not. My one complaint would be you've got the board. So there we go. Kind of got like a building there, graveyard. Quite simple, and it is double-sided. This isn't laminated. That's my only. I would say my only grumble would be it would have been nice if this had been mounted properly. Okay, but it's serviceable enough. And that sits in there. And then we've got various bits in here. Let's have a look. So there's no cards in here. There's no sort of sense of, there's no card play in here at all. But we do have actually smaller bits of cards. So you've got like a couple of scenarios in here. So there's dealing with flags and setup. And then leaders, a different setup for that. Control and scrimmage. So you've got 4 different games in here in one. So that's quite generous. I think, sort of like it's not a game where you just do one thing. And then you've got sort of like item cards. So you do have some cards in here, but it's status cards like this is like for the Bride of Frankenstein. She walks. These aren't packaged very well. They're sort of just in the bag, or so things like that. And then this is the Mad Scientist. Different moves for the Mad Scientist. And the same again for the Villager. Sort of like for NPCs. And then you've got card reference cards. Those are like for the Invisible Man and Dracula and the Bride. And there's going to be one in here. There we go for the Creature. So if you're actually a fan of this genre, of these films, I think this is actually sort of like worth getting, because it's quite a nice physical sort of like presence on the table. You've got a couple of tracking sheets, I'm presuming. And then we have the rule book. Here we go. So Funko Verse instructions. And we've even got a reference to go and watch the video, so you didn't have to read the rule book. And there's a FAQ for you can ask questions on the back. That's pretty much standard for games these days, especially from Funko Pop, because Funko Pop did quite a range, Funko Games did quite a range of interesting games, working with particular intellectual properties, because essentially they get the intellectual properties in terms of the actual Funko Pops, then they develop them into games as well. So we've got components and a guide to understanding the components, which is great. So how to set up your first game. The Creature and the Dracula player, the Bride of Frankenstein, the Invisible Man player at the bottom there. Then we move on to playing the game. How to play the game, and then at this point it says, stop reading and play. You've read enough, which is great. But you've got more details on things like, obstructions, what your character can see, adjacency, examples of what your character can do and see. So you've got plenty of examples in there. Moving, facing challenges. And then full experience, bringing in the scenarios, because you've got 4 scenarios in there to play. Set up and scenario, set up point markers, winning a scenario, how that's done, and then looking at the abilities and traits, and then exceptions on to the rules. You've got a bit of spot of colour with the icons for the abilities. And then attachments, bring those into play, companions, companion rules, mixing games, and so on, even right up to the, a free-for-all. Followed by a glossary, and of course the FAQ. So yeah, that is the, just put that down like that. The Funko Verse Strategy Game Universal Monsters Edition. I think that looks quite fun. If you like the theme, I'm looking forward to giving that a go and giving it a review. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed this unboxing in the Nook. If you have, then please do click on the like button down below. And of course, if you've got any comments or feedback, I do appreciate you taking the time to post those. And lastly, if you want to be alerted to get more unboxings of the Nook, where you'll see me out here with a box from which I will unbox a game or role-playing game or something, in this case a board game, and talk about it to the best extent of my knowledge for roughly 10 minutes or so, all of course accompanied by a nice cup of tea. Then please do click on the subscribe button down below. Thanks again for watching. Be back again soon with another one. Bye for now.